was just a kid whose questions that the sermons couldn't touch. Used to stare into the mirror like, why does life feel like too much? School was just a cage, in every grade I'd self-destruct. They called me weird, but never knew the war I kept behind the front. I tried to speak to God, but the sky just stayed quiet. Tried to fit in with the liars, but my soul stayed defiant. Had a notebook like a Bible, every page a secret riot. Used to ride by candlelight cause my mind felt like a pilot. But then one night I broke, had a dream inside the dream. Saw my younger self in flames, trying to scream without a scream. And a voice came through the smoke, said you chosen for this stream that runs deeper than the rivers where the prophets washed their grief. So I woke up feeling different, like my ribs had grown wings. Like the pain was just a seed that would open up to spring. But still, the world ain't changed a bit. Still the hunger, still the sins, but I started hearing whispers every time that I'd pick a pen. It's a right for those who vanish, right for those that won't defend, right for every kid abandoned, every fostered soul condemned. You ain't here to be a star, you the flame before the end. You the voice they tried to silence when they couldn't make you bend. So I started walking different, barely talked, just felt the shifts. These friends became like distant echoes, all my nights began to drift. I used to cry up on the rooftop just to feel the ancient winds. Let the moonlight wash my spirit while the city hid its sins. Then the vision started clearer, I saw people in a cage, saw a preacher selling mercy while the children burned with rage. Saw a man who looked like me, chained to trauma in a page, trying to ride his way to freedom through a maze of inner graves. That was me, and I accepted that my past would never ease, that I'd lose the ones I loved before I ever found my peace. But I carved from the silence, made a temple from disease, built a castle from the cries every time I couldn't breathe. They laughed, they mocked, they doubted when I turned from what was cool. Told me you too deep with it, ain't no space for that inside the school. But I never learned to play the game, I only learned the truth, that the world don't need another clone, it needs the profit and the boost. So I vanished for a season, let the pressure crush my bones. Lived in basements with no heat, but I was hotter than the throne. Every prayer became a sentence, every beat a sacred tone. And I etched my resurrection into every microphone. I was grown by then, but still felt like I was 12 inside my soul. Still afraid to call it love if it could vanish when it's cold. Still afraid to chase a dream I could lose when it's sold. But the pen was my redemption and it bled what I controlled. Then I met a girl with shadows that resembled all of mine. So shallow, you ain't broken, you just feel the world's decline. We would talk for 7 hours, write for 8 and lose the time. But the deeper that we got, the more I felt that I crossed the line. So I left before the bond could turn to chains I couldn't break. They were holy, but I knew I had to walk my path with weight. Look, you deserve the light, I still got demons in my gate. Then I cried into a verse that never once escaped the tape. Look, fast forward to the feminine, to the hunger, to the drought. I was preaching from my chest, not a dollar in the house. But the words they started echoing, people really feeling now, saying you're the one who speak when all the other voices doubt.